Hey guys, what's up? It's Finch here. We're back for more Tournament Tuesday. Today, I'm going to be bringing you guys my games from the Pokemon Perfect Playoffs / Championship for Black and White Overused. Earlier today, you might have seen my games from the Smogon Championship. Pokemon Perfect is a community dedicated to all generations. Smogon's for all tiers, but Pokemon Perfect has dedicated tournaments to all generations and their tiers, so that's pretty cool. I also play on this website a fair amount. So what happened was they had 4 tours, I believe, throughout the course of the year. And the top 16 performers in those 4 tournaments qualified for the playoffs. Of course, again, I was the 1 seed of those 4 tours. I lost to Toy Team in the first one. And Toy Team's actually my first round opponent here, which is pretty funny. Then I won the second. I won the third, and I got a little unfortunate in the finals of the fourth. So I didn't quite get the three-peat, but I knew it'd be time for playoffs. I'd still be the 1 seed. I was the 1 seed decisively, so that was pretty dope. But yeah, while the one on Smogon was mainly for recognition and winning a little thing under your post pit, this was for $100. So if I won this whole tournament, I won $100. If I placed in second through 16th, then shit out of luck, no money for you. So yeah, Toy Team, someone I have some history with. He's actually used to be my tutie. I tutored him in Black Widow U years back. He's been pretty solid this year. He made it to the playoffs with the Smogon and Pokemon Perfect circuit, so really great seeing him here. He's using a solid team here. Same 6 I've used before as well. We actually have kind of similar teams, both with dual grounds and then kind of a Rotom. I got a Latios in the back, which is cool. He's got Amoonguss' grass. I got Ferrothorn's my grass, so right off the bat, I know that if I could minimize his Mamoswine's Ice Shard, because Ice Shard can kill Latios, it could kill Landorus-T, it could kill Garchomp. If I could minimize what Mamoswine does, the rest of the matchup's all fine and well, but Mamoswine's a huge problem, so I just gotta be smart against that. If I am, then I'll be pretty well off, and if I'm not, then I might have my work cut out for me. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. I guess just a little bit of an insight into my teams. He knows me super well because I tutored him, and we played a million times before. We probably played in 4 or 5 tournaments this year so far. I lost to him in Pokemon Perfect, but I won against him a couple times on Smogon. But the ideal was I thought he'd use a bulkier team against me, or maybe more of a balanced team. So I wanted to use Swords Dance Landorus. You know, this one's a bit more up tempo, so it didn't work out quite as well. But I knew I could still win this matchup. So let's see. He leads Rotom. I lead Rotom, so that's fine with me. He goes Volt Switch instead of Will-O-Wisp, which is real weird. I get a Will-O-Wisp off from this Amoonguss, though. I'm not complaining. I feel like Will-O-Wisp is always a turn 1, but hey, I'm not status now. That's great for me. So I go for Hidden Power Ice here, figuring I'd love for him to Stun Spore me. He actually goes for the Hidden Power, revealing there's probably Hidden Power Fire, predicting the Ferrothorn, so that's chill with me. Now here I go Volt Switch, and I'm like, okay, please Stun Spore the Ferrothorn now, or the Tyranitar. Tyranitar, again, is pretty useless in this matchup because no Alakazam, no Latios, no Rain, no Tornadus, no Reuniclus. So I let it take the Stun Spore, that's chill with me, and now I go for the Pursuit, and I'm able to take out that Amoonguss right off the bat, which gives me a pretty good lead, and which is why I'm happy I went with that way. He goes Superpower, and I got Chople Berry, so I live that, and I'm able to take him out with my own Superpower. So all of a sudden, his biggest threat's now gone, and I'm like, wow, the floodgates are open. I don't think I could lose this game now, so I'm feeling amazing now. He goes Drill here. I go Rotom-Wash, like knowing he's not Mold Breaker, so I can actually come in on this. He goes Earthquake, so I'm like, I got fodder in the back. I'm up 2 Pokemon. This is feeling amazing here now. So he goes Toxic. I go for the Will-O-Wisp, and I hit. It's the safest play. So I figured he might go Rotom-Wash. Hydro Pump would have been better, but might not have killed him. He's especially defensive, so Wisp worked very well there, too. Now I go Ferrothorn because, see, in my last video, when I was explaining my games in the Black-White Championship on Smogon, I mentioned, if you burn Ferrothorn, Drill can spin it all day, but if you burn Drill, then it can never spin on Ferrothorn. It's taking too much damage, and Ferrothorn can just outlast it. So, yeah, you flip the tables, you just got to position yourself well, and that's what I've been doing in all these games with status. So, I don't mind falling down a Pokemon, which I didn't even have to do here if I could get myself up positionally. So, yeah, he goes Tar, and he gets off a Rocks. I just go for my Fighting Gem boosted Superpower here. It's going to bring that Rotom-Wash down to 15%, which is dope because now he's into a kill range. I just Superpowered again here, I think, and he's like 4 foot. Yeah, so game 1 is in my favor. I'm able to beat Toy Team. That was a really impressive, decisive win there. Getting that Mamoswine out of the way, which is a big threat to my team. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good about this one. All right, game 2. I bring my kind of standard triple psychic team. I really like this team against the people that aren't playing 100% because I feel like last game he wasn't super great off. So I really wanted to overwhelm him here, make sure he's completely like demoralized. I mean, not like personally, because I love Toy Team. He's a great dude, but no, I wanted to really run away with the set. So I brought this. It was the idea. It wasn't my plan team. I planned on bringing a team with Choice Ben Breloom, which I actually ended up saving for the finals of the Black-White Championship on Smogon, which you probably already saw the video earlier today. If not, check it out. But yeah, anyway, I just lead Nicholas here. It's kind of weird lead against Rotom-Wash this team, but the idea is I'm hitting Power Ice plus Focus Blast, so I just want to get up some damage. It's never going to win against Tyranitar plus Drill plus his own Nicholas, which might have Side Shock plus Trick, so I got to Calm Mind off there, and I'm okay with him just tricking me so I can get hidden Power Ice off on it, but he actually goes Tyranitar, and that's fine with me too. I get 18% off there, and if I hit a Focus Blast or Chapel Berry, I'm in business. All of a sudden, my Nicholas and my Alakazam and my Lattice go off, but I miss, which is super unfortunate, so I'm like, okay, that ain't good. I go Landorus-T here, and he doesn't pursue at least, so that's actually fine with me. He goes Crunch, only just 21. I'm like, okay, I could live with this. This isn't the end of the world now. He goes Rotom-Wash, I get Rocks up, and now I'm thinking he's got Drill, so I don't really want to get Ferrothorn in front, but I don't have much further play. I go U-turn here. I want to avoid that burn, though, so I go Latios here. He goes Wisp, and then here, I got to make a play here. I got to find a way to make a play here. So I double Landorus-T. Figuring worst case he goes Volt Switch, best case he goes Tyranitar. He goes Volt Switch, I catch that, and I'm like, okay, I could trade another U-turn round maybe, and go Ferrothorn this time and not go for Wisp. So I'm trying to play around this, dance around this, and he goes for the Volt. I'm like, okay, no burn, so I can still get him up against Drill. Again, positioning around Drill like that with this Ferrothorn is a huge part of Black-White that a lot of people underestimate. So now it's Pharaoh on Pharaoh, and that's fine with me because I have 4 Pokemon that are immune to spikes in this team. And Rocks are going to get up. That's fine. I get the knockoff on him, so I'm like a leg up. Now I can get spikes up as well, which is cool with me. Force damage on the Drill, force damage on the Tar, force damage on the Pharaoh. And I'm feeling pretty decent now. I go Landorus-T here, though. I don't want to take too much damage. I don't want to have too many spikes without much. So he goes spikes again there. That's fine with me. I U-turn. And with the Intimidate, I now know he's for sure staying in, so I get my Nicholas in safely, and now I could go for a recover if I want. But I doubled his Tyranitar here, predicting him to go Latios, but he goes Drill. What a great mid-ground play by him, knowing I wouldn't go for Focus Blast ever. Great play there. So I double Landorus-T. Instead of spinning, though, he should have spun. He goes for the Protect, and not even Earthquake or Iron Head to try damage. Protect. Perhaps scared of Scarf Tar? I'm not sure, but I was never Scarf Tar in this team. And with Alakazam, I don't think that made much sense. But hey, fair enough. So I catch a break there despite getting outplayed. So now I take advantage of that by going for Earthquake and Rotom-Wash. Now he's really outplaying me. I tried to catch him getting greedy and I couldn't. So now I'm like, okay, damn, he has my number this game. Good for him. So I got a U-turn here. I go Nicholas. He kills me with that Hydro Pump. Like, yeah, okay, fine. He didn't go Pain State. He's getting me every turn. But I know Zam looks pretty decent still. I Psychic, I take him out. Even a Mineral Psychic kills there, I believe. He goes Latios, and I'm like, okay, that's actually fine with me. I can let go of the Ferrothorn here. He goes Surf, which is good for me, as Ferrothorn obviously takes that easily and only to 16. He goes for another there, and I could actually Gyro Ball here. And now he's really low. He didn't always Gyro Ball. I actually was Gyro Ball for this game in particular. And now he goes to Extra here as I go for the Gyro again. And it's just 36%. I'm like, whoa, we are pimping out damage. He goes Spin. I'm like, okay, that's chill with me. I can just go Spikes and just keep him up for sure. I don't mind if you're taking leftovers. It's not like you can really do much. I go Landorus-T here thinking he's going to take me out for the kill with an Earthquake, and he goes for just that. I'm like, yep, I get my Spike up. I'm still looking pretty good here. I feel like I'm really forcing progress on this team. I feel like I'm making progress now. He goes Ferrothorn here as I think I just go Rocks. Yeah, I go Rocks, and it's fine with me. Now I go back to Ferrothorn, and what's cool here is I got a fire move on my Ferrothorn as he misses Whip, which wouldn't have killed. I got Endeavor on my Ferrothorn, so I could bring him all the way down, and he can't, like, recover anything because I'm, like, dead now to Iron Barb. So all of a sudden, I got this Ferrothorn in Psychic range with that Endeavor. I hit Power Fire anyway, just in case he goes Tar to get a little bit of damage on it. He goes Nicholas now. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I go Latios, and now against Latios, I can simply go for a Trick here and force it to eat that. I think that's the play. He goes Tar, I think, on the Trick. I don't want to quote me in that. I might misremember. Yeah, he goes, okay, good play. He goes Tar on the Trick. We're both Scarf. I'm like, okay, that's chill. I can get a Draco or a Surf off, I guess. But yeah, this does make me realize from before, I missed Focus Blast on this. It wasn't even Choppleberry. That shit would have been dead. Like, the game would have just ended. So that's unfortunate. But I'm like, okay, that's fine. He gets Pursued off after I get Draco. At least he's in range of hazards. That's fine. I go Landorus-T here. He pursues because he has to kill me. Now I go Earthquake. That's fine. Now Nicholas is in here. He goes Hidden Power Ice to take me out, which is fine because now I get Tarin. And Tar here can go for the Pursuit and the Switch or Crunch. I got to get that play right. I get the play right. I Pursuit and the Switch. Thank God. Now Latios dies, and I am in business to win with the Alakazam, as long as I hit a Hidden Power Fire, which I can't miss because thankfully, and And as he protects and hit bar fire, takes max his offensive, and Psychic takes his 9% Reuniclus. So thank God I get the pursuit turn right, and good games. Toy Team, I was able to win 2-0. This game was pretty tight. This was a dope game. He got lucky early, but I was able to play my way around it, and that worked out nicely. So yeah, next up I'm against Mayal, who's someone who's won an official Smogon tournament before, played in DPP, played in Black-White, played in Oras before. Overall, a great player, really good at ADV too, against all generations. So I knew I had my hands full here. I wanted to lead off with a more offensive team because I know his exploits in Black-White. He's a pretty punishing player. I know these games aren't going to last much more than 15 to 30 turns really. So I load up the anti-offense dual Psychic Rain with the Protect Thundurus lead to Scout. So yeah, here we go. I lead Landorus-T again into a Ferrothorn this time so I can hit that focus. He goes Latios though. Focus does 21. I can Protect Scout here so he doubles the Ferrothorn, predicting me to go my own Ferrothorn, and that works. I get Focus Blast in here. I do a nice 68%. He goes Spikes. I'm like, wow, this actually feels pretty good. Here, I think I should have went Hidden Power Ice. I probably went Focus, knowing me. Yeah. I do get a nice 24% off, though. And now I can just scout him with Protect again. And he goes Draco. I'm like, yeah, that's fine with me. Now he goes back to Ferrothorn here. And I go to my own Ferrothorn. I'm like, yeah, that's chill. I don't mind. I still get a knockoff on you. I still get my hazards, and you're still taking a lot of damage. He's stuck at 41% or lower now, which definitely works for me. He knocks me off, which, again, that's fine with me. No big deal, though. And now he goes Landorus-T. I think I just go for a hazard. I don't see another reason to make any other plays. So, yeah. And I'm still pretty high. I go to my Thundurus-T predicting him to go Rocks. He goes Earthquake. That's even better for me, as I could just Hidden Power Ice here. He goes Rotom-Wash, though, on my Hidden Power Ice, which is a great play on his end. Scouting it out. He does that to 2 Thunders here. So he goes Ferrothorn, I guess, just to fire that off. And I hit the Thunder. I kill that. That's cool with me. This is still at full health. He can bring in Latios, but now Latios is below half health. That's chill with me. He Dracos. He's also running low on Dracos. Like, he's at 5 Dracos now, I believe. He's at 6. Okay, never mind. I guess he doubled out before. I go Ferrothorn, so he goes Landorus-T. Good play on his end. He's also leftovers, so that's not great. I want to get my damn weather up. It's been 13 turns. No one's gotten their weather up. So he goes Rocks. I'm like, okay, that's a good play by you. I want to get my Scald off, though. Nothing really wants to take a Scald here now. Not even the Rotom. So he goes to it after U-turning for 18%. And I actually go Toxic. Oh, I didn't even remember that. Okay, that was even better play by my part. Okay, cool. Now here, I go Protect here. I want to see what he goes. If you go Hydro, predicting you to a Thundurus, or goes Volt. He goes Volt. I'm like, okay. Bet. That's fine with me, Mr. OK Computer. And now I go Latios as Midground. I'm fine with him clicking Volt Switch into it because that means he has to go Tar, he has to take Rock, and he has to take more damage than that. And if he goes for Pursuit, he's going to take twice as much damage from it. If he goes Crunch, that's fine too. But this damage puts him in Alakazam range. But I get a crit Surf here, and that's huge. I could not lose after this Surf crit. Even without the Surf crit, if he clicks Pursuit, I live, and then I'm able to... I live and I kill him. Or... alternatively, if he crunches, he's in his Alakazam range. I think I'm in the lead at this point regardless, but that's huge. He goes Drill, I go Politoed now, and I'm like, yeah, this game's pretty much over from here. So it's a really unfortunate turn there for Mal. I got a little luck finally. He Iron Heads, he Earthquakes. I live the Earthquake, I go for the Scald here. It probably does like 95. Okay, that's 71. He's bulky as crap. That Iron Head and Earthquake did nothing, so never mind. He takes me out, that's fine with me. I know my Tentacle is quicker than this. I don't know if I go to it. Okay, I do go to it. Well, there you go. We have all the answers to all the questions that we might be posing. I take it out with Scald, of course, and now he goes Landorus-T. I'm pretty certain that he's slower than me at this point, so I think I could just go for the Scald. Actually, I go Substitute here. He goes Earthquake. I can actually PP stall himself. I know he's leftovers. Yeah, that's why. Okay, I'll run max speed Landorus with this spread. Now it's all coming back to me. So he forfeits because I could PP stall this, and the game pretty much ends, and this is weakened. So yeah, Alakazam won too at this point. It's over. So yeah, unfortunate crit there, but I think I had a lead, but my bad, Mal. Anyway, speaking of Alakazam, this time around he's got one. He's bringing a pretty solid team here. It's actually it's just Drill over it's Drill versus Landorus-T, Latios. Alakazam. It's just Drill versus Alakazam. That's the difference in his team. Yeah, it's fine because one's immune to spikes, one removes spikes. Yeah, works all the same. This time around, I kind of figured he'd bring more of a Sand or a Weatherless team, so I wanted to bring Heatran here. I quite like Protect Rand, stopping momentum, and I also want to bring Pharaoh Spikes here because I kind of see him being a bit more ground heavy. This game he only brought 1 ground, which is still fine with me. Rotom-Wash looks pretty good though. I just gotta watch out for spikes early on, so I gotta trade that Wisp for spikes if I want to. He leads Latios here, and I'm always staying in here. You always live a Choice Specs Draco with Rotom-Wash, and you never want to risk him doubling predicting Tar and getting it wrong. So I always just go Volt Switch turn 1. And lo and behold, he goes Landorus-T, he U-turns. It's fine with me. I just go for the Wisp here, I guess, in case he doesn't go Zam. He goes Zam, though. Catch that one. It's like, okay, he now risks like a million different things here. And I could just get a Wisp off from the Pharaoh, but it turns out he doesn't go Pharaoh here. So I'm like, okay, he's fine losing the Sash. I'm just going to Pain Split. And lo and behold, I get the Pain Split off, and now its Sash is broken. I'm like, I'm fine with he's in Hydro. This is really okay with me. Getting this out of the way now. And I missed the Hydro, though, so it's like, oh, well, that sucks. So I go Landorus here, predicting the Focus Blast. He goes for the Focus Blast and misses. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So now I bait the Ferrothorn in, and I'm like, okay, so I can retain some momentum here. I go to Heatran here. I want to get a Plume off or get Rocks up. Either or is fine with me. I go Rocks. He predicts that, and he goes for his own Rocks. My L's like not fucking around here. Good for him. He goes Rotom-Wash here, and I'm like, okay, I see you're not fucking around. I go for one Plume. I get that burn. I'm like, okay, we're back in business after a rough miss, so I'll take that. I protect here. I'm like, yep, I'm going to whittle this man all the way down here. His Hydro might not even 2K off the leftovers, which is a cool part, especially if it's Strand, by the way. But I just go Latios. I'm like, I don't want to risk crap. So he goes Hydro. I'm like, yeah, that's fine with me. It's fine with me. With your Sash being broken, I don't really need stuff full anyway. So yeah, he goes Pharaoh here. And I think I finally just go for the Draco. I want to do some damage. I do 43 to this, by the way, which is a million. That's like a physically defensive Ferrothorn, which is cool. And now he can go Skarmory and get Spikes up, which threatens two of his Pokemon that are pretty crucial in the Tyranitar and Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn being in now also doesn't really help me a ton, but it's fine. I get to Spike up as he goes to the Rotom-Wash here now, and on top of that, he can't really kill anything. I just go Latios here. I'm fine with him Volting because he could go Tar, I guess, but I get damage on that, which is cool. He actually goes Landorus, though, which again is fine. So I go my own Landorus. Like, if he didn't Power Ice, I'd say good to him. It's in my hat next game, but he U-turns. So, yeah, I'm fine here. I feel like I'm a little behind, but he's kind of in a rough spot against his Landorus, too, with the Sash broken on Zam. So I Quake and take this out. I got to say Discipline, which is good. Now he goes to his own Landorus-T here. And, he has got a U-turn, right? But I don't want to risk crap, so I go Skarm. He does, in fact, go U-turn here. Rotom-Wash is getting low, and that's good because my Latios is low, so he can't really Pain Split up. So that's kind of why I was okay consistently bringing it in. My Rotom-Wash is also low. I kind of wish I went Latios here, but I just fought this off, and it works all the same. Now his Rotom-Wash is dead, so my Skarmory kind of can win the game. As you see here, I can Roost up here. He has to go Latios. I can fire off U-turn into 2 Surfs and then trap with Tar. Or I could potentially even go my own Latios here if I want, but I'm okay just firing this off here. Now I go Tar, but I get to turn wrong. I should have pursued it, but I crunched, I got greedy, and now I can lose. Now it's interesting. So he Earthquakes here. I go for the Pursue, predicting the U-turn. I get a crit, which puts him in rock range, but all in all, I go Skarmory after that anyway, and I could Whirlwind him in, and it's basically in rock range anyway, so I have a number of ways out there. But I still feel like I'm in the good spot here because I have Tar to Founder off next time the Latios comes in, and this is specially defensive Skarm, so that would still leave, even with that Focus Blast damage, Landorus-T can't kill it. So I'm feeling pretty good here. I let go of Tar here now, and I can bring Landorus-T in. Always locking the Surf. I could go with Latios probably, but I think Landorus-T and U-turns to play. Yeah. He goes to his own Landorus-T. Again, it's dead to Rocks. That was a big thing there, but it would have been dead to Rocks after this anyway. So I think I was in okay shape because the Tar's Pursuit couldn't kill me here. But it might have been a roll off the Rocks, and we find out that it isn't, in fact, a roll off Rocks. It's a 0 attack Tar. I'm like, yeah, okay, I win then. Good game. Even the worst case scenario in this end game for me was, at the end of the day, that he got a freeze with Tar or came down to a Latios speed tie, and thankfully neither of those was the case. So yeah, I was in the clear. Surf, as you see, didn't kill there, and I just fling the Choice Scarf because that's a nice move I have in the back because I didn't want to be choiced in the game. So win. I think this one was definitely not a super clean victory, but I felt like I was in the lead. But yeah, no, my bad, Mail. Definitely got lucky there. He always gets unlucky against me. This man's cursed. I feel bad almost. So yeah, good games. Anyway, who am I up next against? I'm up against Agents next. Not really too sure about this guy. I looked through his replays. He used kind of weird stuff. He used different memes and whatnot. So I figured he'd use some weird offense, and he used weird offense. So that's kind of the gist of it. Magnezone lead. I'm like, bro, what? You only trap Drill here, and I'm never leading Drill. So whatever. I get Rocks up. That's fine with me. He goes Chomp on Chomp because this man's crazy. He gets his own Rocks. So like, okay. In conclusion, this guy just is clicking around. I missed Stun Spore here in Arena, so I'm like, okay, damn. That is unfortunate, but no biggie, no biggie, no biggie. I Stun Spore. Focus Blast was super obvious. I got Tar in the back here. Sludge Bomb because Focus Blast is obvious again. He gets parried, but even then, I'm like, okay, no big deal. I go Tar now, And this time I baited the Psychic, right? No, I baited the Latios. Even better. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, I love me. Oh boy, he surfs. I live too. But I go Crunch anyway, because I want to preserve that damn health for the Reuniclus. That's dope. He goes Jirachi here. I think now I go Rotom-Wash. I don't want to get myself trapped. And he goes U-turn. Yeah, that worked out. Okay. He goes Kyurem Black here. I'm like, this Pokemon is a threat and a half to me, but I don't really have much for switching, so I'm just glad I took rocks. But then he goes Ice Beam. He's not Choice Banded. This man went for Ice Beam. I'm like, what? Why is it Ice Beam? They're all Choice Banded. I don't get it. But hey, we'll take it. So he Ice Beams again here. I get the spin off. That's great. I'm kind of bulky. I go back to Rotom-Wash here. Like, okay, fine with me. Maybe he's Choice Scarf, Ice Beam, or Choice Beam. I don't know what the hell he is. I get a Whiz Puff here. He goes Chomp. I'm like, yeah, okay. I go Mungus here. I actually got to pause for 1 second. He goes Outrage. 1 second, guys. Yeah, 1 second. My bad. Hey, you guys there? You guys still there? All right, I'm back. My bad. So he's burnt. I got that play right. He really used a weird term or locked into the wrong move. I don't know, but either way, tied insult injury. He let it get whisked. The Chomp get whisked on the way out when it was dead to rocks. It's just like, okay, sure. I really can't lose the game at this point. Is the point. Not to be rude to Agents, but I think this might not be his best tier of the bunch, and maybe this just wasn't his best team of the bunch. But this game kind of got out of hand pretty quickly for him, despite him having a lot of tools. I'm fine letting go of the Rotom-Wash. At this point, my Tyranitar's still at 48, so it might live a Focus Blast, but I'm fine not doing so either way, because I got Protect on Drill. So I can Protect here. He gets paralyzed, and then I could just fire off a Mungus. If he clicks Psychic, he's got a chance of winning. But I owe Landorus-T knowing I live a Psychic, so it's kind of a mid-ground. Yeah, as you see, it does 93, so I can just live that. But also, all of this involves him not getting parried. But he's like, you know what, I'm a fodder Kyurem, but I'm U-turning, because I'm like, okay, I mean, I'm fine with this anyway, because I could just win the game once Trick Room runs out with the Chomp, but that's fine with me too. He goes Rachi, he goes Rocks. I'm like, okay, yeah, now Chomp should be fine. I Earthquake this, it dies, some life for it, but it lives. I'm like, oh shit. He Healing Wishes, and now I actually can lose the game. All of my lollygagging has led to terrible crap, but I get a crit with Draco. So here's what would have happened for me to lose. A, I don't click Draco. B, he's recover over Psychic. C, he had max HP and some defense investment onto this Trick Room Reuniclus, which virtually none of them run, which means Life Orb Earthquake is doing much less than half damage because it's uninvested. All three of those would have to happen. Plus, I could not crit like 5 or 6 of these. Plus, he has to hit 2 Focus Blasts. Plus, he has to win like 50-50s at the end with getting Trick Room turns up. And then I would have to not get any double protects on top of that. Moreover, he basically has like between like a 1 and 5% chance of winning if I don't get that crit. So I think I had it anyway. He could have won if he was a recover variant, but I've seen teams like this before, and they usually run Shadow Ball and Power Ice Blast. So if he changed the set, and he made a more defensive spread, and he hit Focus Blast, and he won 50-50s, and I didn't get double protectors, basically more 50-50s, then he had an outside chance of winning, basically. Okay. End of the game. I just fired this off, and I can just, yeah. Obviously, the Magazine can't beat all 4. Even if these Pokemon somehow died, Fire Blast Chomp would have done the trick. So yeah, game 1 against Agents is done. Game 2, I bring the same anti-offense team, because I feel like he's not going to be able to beat me with the bulky teams. He's going to go for offense. If he brings bulky teams, I think I could break with Thundurus plus the Psychics and Burns anyway, so it's fine. He leads Scizor, I lead Thundurus. Like, wow, this is an amazing lead. He goes Drill here, as I think I just go Hidden Power Ice. I go Thunder? Okay, that works too. Now I go Focus, and it lives. I'm like, wow. That is a very, very special defensive drill. I guess this man's like using the drill as the Pharaoh Thorn, so he's got the Braylon. So I'm like, okay, that's cool with me. I just hit another one. No big deal, yo. But he goes Latios here as I go Focus, and I hit another 23%. That's a good chip for me. So I'm like, that's fine. But he's Flame Orb, so I'm like, okay, buddy, that's fine with me. He goes Trick. I'm like, well, okay, sure. I just give you my Politoed. It's not like it's useful in this game anyway. So he goes for the Trick. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Really, no big deal. I take the burn, now I double the Tentacle, I'm like, yeah, I kind of wall this now. So Draco's going to be like 55, 60 max, so I can just spin on it all day. Unless he's Side Shock for some reason, which I highly doubt he is, which doesn't even kill, so it's fine with me. He risks the Skull Burn here, which is crazy, because it's a Toxic Orb, I think. And I get to spin off, that's fine, honestly, no big deal. I can just go Thundurus in this, and I live a +2 Facade if it's uninvested, but if it's offensive, I die to it, but he He goes Drain Punch. I'm like, okay, I guess he might not be Facade after all, so. The world will never know, though, because I crit the Hidden Power Ice, and it would have mattered. I said sorry at Facade, but he didn't acknowledge it in the chat, and I'm like, although assuming that he didn't use it before, and he kind of just like nodded off to that, I guess. So, in conclusion, if it was Facade, sorry, that helped me a ton, but I did have Alakazam in the back, and with any damage on the Scizor, I kind of just won the game. So, we'll take it. By the way, that's damage on the Scizor and a burn on the Scizor. Yeah, I got luckier here, but I think the matchup was super strong in my favor with Alakazam plus Spikes later on that I probably couldn't have lost. That crit also meant I didn't know what set the Keldeo was, but even if it was Scarf, that's fine. Turns out it wasn't, I guess, or he just switched out. I don't know, but either way, fine with me. I missed a focus here, so yeah, it's fine. He pursued, so I'm like, okay. Missed a focus here, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, now it's fun time, because now it's actually a game. I'm like, wait a minute, now it's kind of a game, but I still have Tentacruel, so it's cool. He goes Politoed. I'm sub. He's Encore, so I just want to Scald it. But turns out Latios, I could actually just PP Stall Latios as it recovers with this because I'm doing so much each turn. But I make better use of it because the Brain Loom's dead. I could just kind of knock those leftovers off and just start stacking hazards. And yeah, it's not really doing much damage to me. So yeah, I miss a whip there on a spin, which is unfortunate. I mean, I miss a whip there, and then I miss focus there, so he gets my rocks up. It's ultimately fine. I can go Tentacruel and just wall this Keldeo all day. It turns out to be Scarf, so yeah. And now I just kind of sit there with Tentacruel and just wait for burns. And he's not refreshed on the Politoed. He's Toxic Glass, so I know I'm in good shape. So yeah. Game ends pretty quickly. It's just stalling turns with Tentacruel, basically. So stalling PP, etc. You know, might as well. I knock off leftovers. He tricks. I'm like, yeah, that's fine with me. He just can't crit here. I just don't want to speed up the process. So yeah. And he ran out of PP and Keldeo. So yeah, it was kind of a drawn-out stalling game. It really could have ended in like 25, 30 turns, but that's why I kind of sped through it. But you get the concept. I kind of forced him to use all his PP. Tentacruel's got sub. It's nonsense. It wins. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm into the finals against Fio. Fio actually locked the Vulpix 03 to get here. He got super lucky, in fact, actually in game 3. So it was kind of like I wanted to play Vulpix, but it's fine. Here I am. So I look at Feo, it seems like, wow, this guy uses like cheese. He uses like weatherless offense with a bunch of dragons. He uses like nasty plot plus baton plus Celebi, all kinds of crap. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to be super safe. I'm using Scarf Latios plus Sash Alakazam with Protect in this game just to scout for stuff. The Scarf Latios and Alakazam don't protect. The Gliscor's Protect, I mean. So yeah, I want to be prepared. And lo and behold, he actually used a pretty good variant of the Dragmag team that actually does pretty well against this. 2 steals and priority for Scarf Latios is good. And also Jirachi for Zam and a priority for Zam. So I knew I wouldn't be like super favored here, but I knew I could still win the game. He leads Jirachi. I lead Gliscor here, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's not Body Slam, so I could just go for the Earthquake here. He's Shuka Berry, but that's fine. Icy Wind isn't going to do much anyway. Nice 30% air helps for the Psychic types. He goes Icy Wind. It actually does 69, which is a high roll. It might mean he's max or modest, so either way, though, with this Jirachi being weak and all of a sudden Latios looks good here. The Magnus, the Alakazam looks good. He goes Magnus on here too, and I'm like, you can't really do much to me. I can just Wing Attack or Toxic to try and force damage. I get Toxic off there, and now I Protect here. I'm like, I don't think he's gonna go for a Hydro or an Ice Beam here, but also I don't need Jellicent here at all. So I actually should have went Jellicent. I let go to Gliscor though, predicting him to predict Jellicent, but that's fine. I didn't really need Gliscor because Alakazam now able to kill this with Signal Beam, or just kill Jirachi with Signal Beam. That works. So yeah, 5/5. He has Rocks up, but also the Starmie is weakened, and B on top of that, the Jirachi was super important. Now here I make a misplay and stay in on the Dragon Pulse. I should have just went to the damn Tyranitar Ferrothorn, but I thought he doubled the Magnezone, so that's rough. And now I predict him to switch here again, predicting the Tar, but this was a misplay on my end. But I know I still have it with my Scarf Latios. I know I'm still going to win the game as long as I get the Pursuit off, so that's fine. That's really fine with me. I crunch here. I rocks here. I should have just clicked Pursuit there, but that wasn't really a misplay. That's fine. Now I go Jellicent, and he goes Psychic, and he gets me. That was a really good play on his end. But again, Scarf Latios still wins the game. I'm still fine, really. He goes Latios, and I go Latios. Mine is Scarf, but I go Ferrothorn here to try and force damage on stuff, because if I force damage on the Magnezone, then I'm able to win the game with Latios again. So what happens here is he goes Magnezone, and I can double the Tar, which means I could force a Pursuit on it, which is super important. I go for the Pursuit, as you see here, and now I'm like, yeah, I win the game anyway, because now Dragon Pulse still kills if the rock, so it's fine until it isn't. So I go Ferrothorn, he Earthquakes, he goes Magnezone. I get the turn of rocks on the Garchomp, which is cool. Now I go Latios here, and I get 2-KO this with Dragon Pulse, just as I said, it's always 2-KOs. He goes Latios because of that to fire it off, and I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I Draco here just in case I want to make sure it's not an HP invested Magnezone, and also at -2, that means I can still kill Dragonite. But he goes Garchomp here, and I'm like, okay, Garchomp can actually live a -2 Scarf, so I got to go to Ferrothorn. He goes Dual Chop into me, which means he takes damage, which is great for me. Now, I don't have to risk anything. Like, I feel like Dragon Pulse just cleans him out pretty much at this point. He goes Magnezone, which is even better for me as I go Knockoff, just a little more chip on it. Why not? He goes Cinnabar Fire to take me out. Yup. Just trying to think here, anything crazy happened. I go Latios here, yeah. And now at this point, again, I know it's not E-Speed Dragonite, by the way. It's Sub-Dragonite. I should have mentioned that before. He just can't get Paralysis here. And now here's what happens. So Dragon Pulse kills this. Dragon Pulse kills Garchomp. And if he's especially defensive Sub-DD Dragonite spread, I have a 15 out of 16 chance of killing it. And if he's not, if he's Extreme Speed Choice Band, which would mean he totally changed the team, he has to lock into Extreme Speed to kill me. He always dies otherwise, and Tyranitar wins. So I'm like, yeah, okay. As long as I don't get absolute min damage, I still win the game, given that he doesn't para. So he's got a 10% chance of winning here with para. I'd say he has a chance of winning with crit here, but also I have a chance of critting him here, so that's kind of moot. So he's got a 10% chance here, and then he's got 1 in 16 chance, maybe 2 in 16 if he's got even more bulk, but you need a certain number to speed that run things at +2. And he later revealed that was his, or other calcs revealed that was the spread, so lo and behold, he views his team later in the set, that's why I'm saying that, but lo and behold, he goes to the Dragonite, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I kill this, I win if he locks into Extreme Speed. Then that's the only chance he can win with Garchomp. But he lives! I get the min damage. And I'm like, oh my god, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. And on top of that, if he didn't get max damage with the Thunderbolt, I would have lived Stealth Rock after the Thunderbolt. I was at 10%. And then I could have won that way too by just switching the Tyranitar there on the Dragon Claw. Boy. So in conclusion, he got like 1 in 16 to win the game, basically, and that's just kind of stupid. I don't know if the Thunderbolt thing really mattered, though, because Garchomp might have been able to win after the sand damage, as we see here. But, man, that 1 in 16 to win game 1 was rough when he kind of lost it at the end game. Like, he kind of got passive at the end, basically. But it's okay. Game 2, he brings a team I know, the Nasty Plot plus Baton plus Celebi, and I'm, like, way prepared for it. I can't lose this matchup. I've played it before. I just need to get damage on Jirachi, and then my Psychic types just annihilate him. So, Earthquake there. It actually crits. It would have done 70-ish%, but that crit makes it even more helpful to me. So I go Rotom-Wash here, and now the game's basically over. He can't win. He can go Celebi here. That's fine with me, right? But Landorus-T lives any hit at +2, and has U-turn, so it's great for me. Nasty Plot again. He Baton passes knowing he's quicker. He can go Keldeo, but I have a Scarf Latios and a Sash Alakazam, so it's like you can't break the team. That's fine with me, right? So I go Psychic here. He goes Celebi. That's totally fine with me again, really. And now here, my play is to just go for the Latios because I can trick it. I don't want to break my Sash damage. He just goes Giga Drain. It's a fine play, don't get me wrong, but yeah, no, this works for me very well. So I trick it, and now the game basically ends. That's what I'm saying. He locks in the recover, trying to scout for specs, and he has a Scarf now. So yeah, I can't lose. I missed Draco here, but it's over at this point. I'm fine with this. I've played this matchup before, as I said. I go Ferrothorn because I don't mind not getting spikes up in this game. This is a game where it's okay to let Drill win that war because you're forcing any damage on the Drill for the Psychic types to win. But he goes Toxic, and then he scalds into me staying in, trying to fish for the burn. And now I'm like, okay, if you're going to just keep scalding, I'm just going to trade damage on the Politoed to win the Weather War too. So I get Power Up there for 62. He doesn't burn a second Scald. I'm like, yeah, that's great for me. And now I go Tar here, and I'm fine taking the burn here at this point because I should be able to 1v1 it regardless. He goes Scald here. Does 28. No burn. I'm like, wow, even better. Cool. But yeah, he switches in the pursuit, and now it's dead to spikes. He goes Celebi as well, so it's like you can't really do crap with me. So yeah, I'm feeling great at this point. This game's won. So it should have been a 2-0. I see Baton passes to Politoed of all things. It really should have just been a 2-0. He can spin there. I do 80% with Earthquake. I go Landorus-T and Rock Slide, and I can get rocks up here. And yeah, now the game's it's just out of control for him. He can't win at this point. So yeah, I don't mind letting this die to Power Ice just because like with Alakazam and Latios in the back, it's over. That's the point. So I'm like, wow, this game was like could have been 2-0. I could have had $100 in my pocket. So really want to give it to him game 3 now, even if he paras here, which he doesn't. I was more than okay at this point. So yeah, he goes Drill, just fires that off. Unless he crits Rotom-Wash plus Latios with Keldeo. Even then, you can't crit Latios with non-hidden power ice to win, so he'd have to like switch out. There were just not enough fodders at this point. I could fodder Tar off your Pseudolox in too, and then make sure I don't lose to a crit, basically. So yeah, recover there, Ferrothorn there, and I whip there, and that ends the game. So yeah, again, that game was very good matchup-wise. I knew he was going to use that team because it did well against my normal stuff. So that was a good game for me for sure. Now at this point, it's game 3. I used the same team, and he brings the team from game 1. It's pretty much my idea of a decent matchup here. So I have a Scarf Latios and a Sash Zam again. I have Landorus-T with Intimidate and Leftovers to check Chomp, maybe even a Dragonite to Dragonite sub DD. I have Ice Beam Tar for that, which is super important. Plus Scarf Latios doesn't have 2 Dragonites, so I feel pretty safe again. I think this matchup's decently even. Starmie plus Zone is a big threat to me since it's Psychic Starmie, but that's about it. Garchomp can be a nuisance as well, so we gotta be careful. Right off the bat, I know I just gotta Wisp this and I'm fine. Get damage off. Again, force damage on the Drachi means the Steel type suddenly is weakened and the Psychic types go in. He goes Energy Ball. I go right to Alakazam here. I'm like, okay, he's probably going to go Icy Wind to try and get a para on me. So I go my Rotom-Wash. He not only hits Thunder, he gets a high roll on Thunder. Again, if Energy Ball is doing 33, Thunder doing 26 is high roll. And then he gets max damage on the Energy Ball. So he hits Thunder. He gets a 3 out of 16 roll on Energy Ball. And then he gets literal max damage on Energy Ball. On Thunder, I mean. And then he gets literal max damage on Energy Ball after that. The first one did 33, this did 35. So I'm like, that was the only thing that could happen that would make that a net negative for me, and it happened. That is like right there, some 1 in 100 shit. So I'm like, okay, that's bad. But Alakazam's Hidden Power Fire can take it out. Fine. The Psychic Steel type out of the way. Okay, he goes Dragonite here. I go hard Tyranitar. The idea is, even at +1 Dragon Claw is a roll, because these run defensive, and I know that. And I could negate Leftovers with the Sand, so I got to force damage on him here. And I'm going to crunch here to bait not being Ice Beam. So see, I crunch here to bait not being Ice Beam, and now Ice Beam can take him out, which is amazing for me. Because I have got a lot of special attack on this thing. So yeah, as you see, he subs, and here, I'm like, okay, he's going to roost, I don't want to waste Ice Beam here. So I'm like baiting him around. I get the crunch off there. And now, yeah, again, it's in Ice Beam range. This is perfect after Sand. And he fucking crits the Dragon Claw. The only turn a crit Dragon Claw loses the game. Because otherwise, he would have been incapable of killing me if he was at +1. Or if he went for it on the freaking, the turn he subbed, then he could have won 2. But yeah, like the only turn, I'm like, fuck me. Because if Ice Beam just kills there, then I'm at a point where not only do I have Tyranitar's fodder, but on top of that, I'm up a Pokemon, and on top of that, his only way of checking both Alakazam with Sash Attack and Latios is a Steel-type Alakazam that gets 2-KO'd by both of them, and one-shotted by the freaking Alakazam Fits Focus Blast. Garchomp's not Scarf, so I know right off the bat I'm fine against that, and even if it is Scarf, I outrun it. Like, there's no way I lose this game, pretty much, if I'm able to get the kill here. It's like a 90-10 match, is what I'm trying to say. But he gets to crit, and the game ends, because it outruns Latios +2, which, yeah, it means that he was in range. Yeah, the game just ends at this point. I can't beat it, so. That's that. $100 down the drain. I would have won the Smogon Championship and a Pokemon Perfect Championship after winning more than half of the circuit tours. It would have been like a legendary, like a never-before-seen showing over the year of Black White, and I couldn't do it because of Lady Luck getting in my way in game 1 and 3 of this set. And yeah, I was pretty bummed out I didn't win the $100 too, because that's like hours worth of pay at my real life job that I would have suddenly had in my pocket. So don't gamble, kids. That's just all I gotta say. I didn't put any money into this, so I didn't really gamble. But the fact that I thought the money was mine and then it suddenly wasn't. Feo, decent player, but he got mad lucky here. I feel like his form in Black White just wasn't there, and unfortunately the luck favored him. So that's that. I was a kind of sad end to the video, but I had a ton of fun playing both this and the Smogon Championship. I actually won all 3 sets leading up to this in 2 games. I would have won this in 2 games if not for the Maxwell. It would have been an 8-0 victory, which would have been super dominant, super cool. But I just wanted the money, and I guess I couldn't even get that. Couldn't buy myself a victory, if you will. So tough luck. I was kind of bummed out about this. But yeah, that's it for Tournament Tuesday. Started off on a high note, ended on a less high note. But that's life. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day, and peace out. All right, bye, guys. Later.